so the last session of the day, thanks very much to invest your valuable time with me. And yeah, so I submit this talk because I think it's very important, right? So obviously we do our in-person meetups, but then we have this other thing that is this online group in the Success Trailblazer community. And in a sense, we are digital nomads, and we are hyper-connected wherever you are physically in the world. Like today, yesterday is a great example that, you know, I know a lot of you, but I never met you in person before. And I'll tell you a bit more. Oh, is the earthquake coming back?
It's a train going back.
And just to give you a bit more context into the user groups and, you know, why am I digital nomad in that sense is that in 2013, I live in London, I'm from Barcelona. And in 2013, I worked for this company, and we got some Salesforce stuff. And what really blew my mind is that, you know, especially with the answer community, people will go beyond their way to help me to solve my business problems. Like, this is weird, kind of like it, but what is this about? So over time, I got more involved with the community, with the groups. Again, I live in London, so going to the dev groups and helping me out not to be too shy and mingle with people and stuff. And then in 2016, Alex from the community team said, hey, you know, we have this group called Spain User Group that had 0 movement for 2 years. Who's up for the challenge? And for the ones that actually know me a little bit, I have trouble saying no, so yeah, of course. So I embark into, you know, start looking after this user group, which is in Madrid, yet I live in London, I'm from Barcelona, you know, I'm in Amsterdam today, which is wonderful. And then relatively short time after that, we start getting Dreamole, which is the dreaming event that we do in Spain, getting ready, and I think in my mind the dreaming events really helps to expand the reach of the community, and you know, you have a great opportunity to bring people into the online groups as well and continue that conversation and that sharing. I'm very, very happy I can say that, you know, over 3 years we had 5 groups, and now you can see how many blue dots we have in the map, like lots and lots, and they keep coming up, so I'm over the moon. You know, we are distributed, but we are not dispersed. It's very, very different things. I'm an agile coach, and a lot of what I do is, you know, it's all this collective genius and how you can come together for things, doesn't matter where you are in the world. And today we have the means and the technology to actually, you know, speak face to face to each other. So I don't have time in 20 minutes to cover a lot of things I wanted to cover. So my key things is that I'm going to try to be really specific about stuff of the success community groups. Right? Things that I learned over time that I had no idea what was happening if I touched this, was doing that. So first thing is welcoming, right? So you have people that are asking you to join your group. And welcome is really important, but welcome is an opt-in. Right? Especially today with all the lovely data privacy and regulations coming up, it is important that our people making the opt-in rather than being added into groups. I've been added to many groups and I don't know what these things are, I don't know what is expected of me. So I think it's really important that we continue that way. Why as well? Because when you add somebody and they don't know, they're gonna get an email. So for the ones that you don't know, and I did that at the beginning. So on the left hand pane of your group, you have this description a little bit. Whatever thing you have there, when you accept somebody, they're gonna get an email with that exactly same information. So for the official user groups, then you have a spiel already ready for you, which is great, but just feel free to give it a twist, you know, make it your own. That's gonna be the first thing that somebody receives once you have accepted them, so welcome. Another one that we need to deal with is duplicates, right? This is a really quick search of my name and surname in the community group, right? Which reminds me I need to follow up with the privacy team from Salesforce, because I did ask to be deleted, so my guess is there's no second line over there. So what do you do? And I think as a group of leaders, you need to talk to each other what you do in terms of duplicates, because people like myself, I work in a lot of different companies, I get a lot of different logins. So what are you going to do? what we do is we tell them, oh, thanks, you're joining us through that one as well, but we have you with this other profile, which one would you rather? And try to encourage the people joins with their developer edition or whatever Trailhead one, so it continues with them over time, doesn't matter where they work. But again,
Ines, I just spoke about this with Jessica Langston, and she told me that where we now have the unified login for Trailhead, they're going to do a similar thing for the community, and after a certain period, they will just send people a message saying, hey, you haven't used this login for so long, do you still need it or do you want it to be deactivated? So they're actively working on it now.
that's wonderful, thanks.
They said.
Yeah, and anything that we know in the work that we do, anything that we can systemize is the best.
Yeah.
But manual intervention at the minute works relatively okay. As well, people, you give them an opportunity for them to tell you what they're up to. Another one is that when you're welcoming people, right, let's not have silos and private messages. It's a wonderful thing. Somebody's been interested in joining into the group, then open to your group and say, hey, join me and welcome. They just join us, and then it's a great opportunity as well that you can tell them what to expect or what they need to do next time. Update your profile. Here is the link how to do it, or here is where you sign up for user group things, meetups in person and stuff. But yeah, just be open and ask the rest of the group to join into welcoming people. Now, accept or not to accept, that is the question. So you have sometimes certain requests to join your group and you're not so sure what to do. I think in my mind it's very important, why we're here is we are here to look after our members, right? And we know once you join a group, you have first name, second name, and company. It's all of everybody, right? So we are here to protect them and to look after them. That, in my mind, that's what it means. Now, when we get certain requests that we are not very sure, there is no harm, just ask the question, hey, thanks very much for your interest, but I've seen that you are in X, because in this kind of time, the groups are a geographical area kind of based thing. And it's fine, be honest. At the end of the day, if you decide not to accept somebody for whatever reason, just being honest about it and say thank you anyway. Actually, we're not gonna pursue this way because blah blah blah. But actually, why don't you try to join here or there, or why don't you do this and that? So it's really important to set expectation. Which kind of behavior is good for your group? When you are being good, and what kind of thing you want them to get involved and how, that's very important. It's very important as well that you tell them, hey, you've been naughty. No, you don't do this way, right? So things, I don't know if you had situations like this, but people going really hard sales in the feed of your group, or even sending sales messages across into private messages to your group, and all sorts of things that have happened to me for the last few years. You tell them, naughty, don't do this, but you need to guide them as well, right? So it's not only about telling them when, reminding them when a behavior is not good, but give them an idea of how they actually get involved. That's gonna work better. Salesforce are great in a way that they don't say, oh, I'm Salesforce, I do awesome things. They get us to do this stuff, like customers, and tell why that works well. So there's a lot of different things that they could do and generate content and, showcase themselves. There is not such an old school way. And then we get to specific ingredients, right? So we have some things that maybe some basics or not, but there's tools and different stuff that we have today in the groups that I don't see always being used. So first one, left hand pane, again, you have information section, which you can change the name of it and call it, links of interest, as this is. And then just ping whatever you like over there. So how to update your profile, where to sign up for your dreaming event, where to sign up for the next meetups, other groups that they may be interested, YouTube channels to learn, whatever. So great place, it's visible, it looks different, use them. Another one is files, lovely files. So when somebody adds an image in a post into your group, it's going to generate a group file. You find this in the right-hand side sort of component. And it's something that you can share to other groups. So just because it's shared on yours doesn't necessarily have to stay there. or you don't have to download it and go to the other group and upload it. So it's very easy. You click into the specific file, go to sharing settings, and then you can open it up even just to the public. And the other thing that you can do, if you want to revert something that somebody else posted in the past, you can just get the link into the view file details, and then just add the link instead of add another file, because you're going to have the same thing. It's version control, it's Salesforce files, it's basic functionality. And yeah, so today we have the poll features, so chatter features that we have in the chatter groups anyway. This is a great example that you can just ask, guys, we're preparing the next meetup, what do you want to hear about? Just ask a poll. So the thing with the polls, at the minute you can only select one, but just tell them, hey, select the top one of your interest, but if you like other ones, just put it in a comment or whatever. What else? Yes, announcements. So announcements is another chatter feature, Salesforce chatter, that you have available today. So things that I use this for mainly when we have a new meetup. So once we publish a meetup, because you have people in the baby platform, that doesn't necessarily mean that they live as well in your success community group. So just tell them. And when you add an announcement, you can put an expiry date, which is quite handy, and you can say, 2 days before the event happens or whatever, and then it gets expired. When you do that, then it pings this is yellowy sticky at the top, so it's quite visible when people log in. What I will say is use this with care, and that is because every time you add an announcement, it's absolutely everybody in your group. So we don't want to overwhelm them.
Is this included in the weekly mail, or are the setting we set on when we want to receive it?
No, it will send the email at the moment that you press save. So check your spelling before and all of that.
Otherwise it's going to resend again if you add it.
Yeah, and if you add another one. And the other one is thanks. So work.com, the olden days, badges, thanks. The team of releases use it a lot with the treasure hunting and stuff like that. This is something that we have, is free, and it's a good way to say thank you. So it depends on the size of your group and the activity that you have in your group. You maybe want to have a reoccurrence, the best contribution this month, or I don't know, whatever it is, like a starter badge or something. You have it, it's there, because you're nothing, and it's something as well that maybe you want to tell them once they join your group. You say thanks, try to say welcome to this other person. One of the things that we look for is to your comments, your contributions, and you may win a badge. And then everybody can access this within their profile. They have this sub tab of recognition, and they can see, and remind each other why we do cool things sometimes. Another feature that we have, another ingredient that we have is add mentions, right? There's the different types of add mentions. One, you can add mention individuals. So where I use this a lot now, and I did it at the beginning and I should have, is to, once you get questions in your group, I find very easy, just go and answer them, right? But that's not how you grow the community. So what I try to do today is tag experts. So they're asking about something else, it would be so easy for me to say, no, join, make people get engaged, and showcase the expertise for the rest of the members, give them a reason of why they need to log in and help each other. That would be one kind of way that I use the individual mentions. And then the other one is, for example, in this one over here, I found a webinar that Rakesh was running that was quite interesting. Rakesh is not my group. He's not going to see it. Once you save it and you see it in gray, they're never going to get notified. But it kind of links and gives the ability for the rest of the people to go and click and find out who this person is. So that's fine. It's another way to mention without making much noise. And then the other way of mentioning is groups itself. Mentioning groups is a dangerous one, because once you mention, so what I've seen this happening is you find a thread in another group, you find it interesting, and you're like, great, I'm mentioning it, I comment my group. That generates a lot of noise and errors. Depends on what it is that you're adding your group within the thread, It's gonna live at the top of your feed forever because people find it interesting and they are no comments, and it just generates a lot of noise. And then your poor other, actual members of the group interactions are like way down. So what I would say that is best to do in this kind of scenarios is that you can copy the link. So when you go to share, you can copy the link of that particular node of the other group. And you can say, hey, I found this is the link, is this group, you can tag them there, whatever else. Just being a bit wary in terms of, noise levels for your group. What else? Okay, so I study communications, and it's something very easy that is at hand and it's absolutely for free, and it's text formatting, and we don't use this enough, and it's a great way to give different flavors and levels in the different things that you may be posting. Use it. Go both. And it's a lot of content as well online, just for some tips and these kind of things that you can do with that. But yeah, text formatting, we can do so much more with that. Now, oops moments, right? Things I found over them. So first one, and I don't know how many of you played the game of Astro was missing, and we had this project to find Astro. Okay, that concept reminds me when I see things of, I can't cover this, but this person changed the information of this group, but it doesn't say anything else, right? And it happens multiple times. This happens every time you change anything in the left-hand pane. It will say your name, change the information. Which information? No one knows. It's the mystery. So I think there is no harm. Like, of course, we change stuff, but showcase it, right? And then put a comment on your mystery change information and say, I've just done this. Maybe you want to join us, or we have updated whatever it is. Say it. It's no problem. It's all about transparency and honesty. And catch them all. So I kind of mentioned before that you have, in your meetups in person, you have people that are not in your online group, and then in the online group, they're not necessarily coming to your meetups in person. So once you have the one in person, it's a great opportunity to catch them, right? So maybe you have a computer set up in an incognito window or something, say hello, bring them over, are you in the group? No, come here, I show you, join us right now, right here, yeah. And they have an escape. And if you have a swag for everybody, maybe it's a great place to, come here, do this, take that. And another thing that you can do in this process is kind of encourage them of updating their digest for even every post or daily, at least possible. Because I don't know for you guys, but I get a lot of females on Sunday morning, and
they all go right out the door.
I didn't say that. And with that note, of course you want to encourage that to happen, but I think it's something that is happening today and it's really important, and we are here to look after them as a community managers. And there is so much digital distractions, and there is so much noise, and there is notifications, so many different channels. It's just very overwhelming, and it generates stress and it generates anxiety. And it is important that we are aware of it, and we're doing it in a way that, of course, we want them to, get a notification of every post, but we need to bear in mind that we are not the only group that they're going to be in. We're certainly not the only channel, and it's not going to be the only notifications that we get. So although we all want them really engaged, we need to look after them, and it is important. I think product ethics is a theme and a concept that we in the solutions that we deliver to our customers and how we look after our members in the community, it's just going to become more and more important. So. Just to lift it up a bit. Experimentation, yeah? So we cover a lot of different things, different tools, different things. You may want to try some others, so experiment, right? They're all ideas, they're all not gonna work, and that's absolutely fine. It's all bets, Same with the work that we do, we have all these bets. We put them in the market, sometimes they work better than others. The good thing is that we react quick enough and we adapt. So, how you quantify that? So one of the things that we do, developer edition, my very messy developer edition, has a new custom object. And we track month by month the total members that we have. So we just count it once, first of the month, we count how many we have, easy. We count how many comments, new comments that are not generated by the leaders, and how many posts of other members, again, not generated by the leaders, into the different threads. And then you can say, you know, we experiment with this, we had this kind of meetup, has it worked or not? And it's all about rhythm. So Aristotle have a quote I really like, and he is, you know, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but it's a habit. And it's all about coming into habits and healthy ones. So once you experiment, you see the things that work, you see the things that doesn't work, then get into a habit. Again, we use my very messy developer edition to have certain things, so we remember that every month we're gonna have, or every single release, we're gonna have at least 1 or 2 meetups, then we're gonna have this kind of engagement things prepared, and then maybe post some videos or whatever else, and then we share it in between us, so it's not only the same person doing the same thing all the time. And with that, thank you very much to spend some time with me. Any questions?
Okay, I want to know your honest opinion. Hello. So I want to know your honest opinion about how much value people give to the mails or the posts which come from this success community platform. Because what I personally felt here is when I use Meetup, people feel more connected rather than posting over here or in Bevy. So what you have felt in the last few years?
I think Mia wants to tell us something, but I'll give you my thoughts first. But so when I talk about mentions, what I used to do, it was just answering stuff, and that doesn't do very much. But even recently, I think 2 weeks ago or something, somebody asked in the Andalusia user group, and I tag here, there, and everybody, saying, guys, you know, here the experts can help you out, and it came out a very nice conversation. So I think there is value, but it will depend into how you bring people together, because we're doing, this is a collective thing, and yeah, I think it's important that you try to find things that are interested for the type of member or the interest that they have for your group, right? So I'm not, so one of the things that I do is this Monday discovery. So through the lovely Sunday emails, some of the things calls my attention more than others. It's content that you already have. So I do Monday discovery, look, you know, this webinar is coming, or, you know, this new thing happened, or whatever it is, and then it seems to be all right. But I think there is a lot of value when you do the connection in between what somebody's trying to find and the other people that you know that they are relevant for the conversation.
What would you say is the biggest challenge? What would you say is the biggest challenge of running an online group versus an in-person group?
I mean, so agile principle, yeah, face-to-face conversations works best. And there are things that you won't be able to equiparate in between the two things. Now, in the group that I run in Madrid, I'm not there physically, so there is a lot of online things that I can do, and obviously I want to make, you know, the conversations that happens one day continue happening, even though we don't see each other every day. The challenge is digital distractions and noise. There is just so much. There is so much, even how Salesforce has grown in the last few years, it's just so much. We're never going to know everything, and you need to accept it, and trying to reach to absolutely everything is overwhelming. So I think is one of the dangers. It's all about bringing value and, you know, make it fun, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So if you can get into your group that is their thing, make it autonomous. They can do whatever they want once they bring value. They have a wider purpose than themselves and their interest. And mastery, how we can gonna get it better and how we're gonna do it together. I think that's the three magic words.
One
minute and then we can
Cool. I think that we go for drinking. Yay!